I just don't understand. And no, I'm not talking about the chapter. I cannot understand why people had such a difficult time accepting this chapter. It was not that unrealistic. And now I even screamed before I even said I would scream. So yeah. What is it? Why did people not like this chapter? Well, first of all, August was, according to them, one-shotted, which, by the way, made completely sense. And I'm not sarcastic when I say that. And also because his how his magic was described, and it turns out there was a twist that was actually foreshadowed a long time ago. And yes, I am talking about Fairy Tail chapter 5 to 6. It took a freaking ass long time for its translation, but now it revealed. As father and daughter are fighting, oh yeah, we see a pretty nice pose by Kana also. But August still managed to defeat all that, as Gildarts tries his best to fight the one, and we get back to the Lacrade situation, where Zeref brutally beats his body and says he has no child. And then, according to Zeref, here's what people can argue is that if this was the truth, then shouldn't have Lacrade have known that? And that's the thing is, no, he should not have known that. Because Lacrade was just that type of person. He was detached from everything. So of course he wouldn't know that. Of course, this could all have been a lie, but given the ending of this chapter, it's not a lie. It apparently is so that Zeref was Lacrade was a book, also, just like Natsu, a demon from the book of Zeref. However, he was different than the other Tartarus, just like Natsu was, because according to Zeref, he was an experimental body used to create Natsu, and the one that turned out best was given the name of Dragnil. That's it. Given apparently that he was the first prototype of E&D until he perfected it on Natsu. And so Zeref brutally beats down the body of Lacrade, calls him trash, even though he still shakes them. And then we get back to the time where we still do not exactly understand how it was possible that Mavis got pregnant with a child. I mean, as I said last time, did Zeref practice necrophilia? Or did it was something else? I mean, I would have preferred if it was that light and dark magic in their kiss actually mixed, and that's how this child was created. But this is fairy tale. It is never something as complicated as that. So, and after all, Mavis may have looked like a body of a little child, but she was not a little child. And so Precht had extracted that child. He left it, of course, at a river, but this child was actually very strong even from a young age. He did not hold any grudge for Precht from abandoning him, and apparently he already knew that Zeref and Mavis were his mother and father, and that he had magic power from it. His childhood was rough until he somehow actually met his father, who took him in and named him. On the back of the situation, Gildarts reveals the trick of Augustus' magic power, which was actually foreshadowed a long time ago, and it was apparently Augustus' magic is not that he is a master of all magic. No, it is simply because he can copy all magic. And here's what people had a very difficult time accepting that. And I just said, how? It makes perfect sense that he has a copy magic. If you think about it, true, he may have attacked Natsu and the other first, and he may have tried to melt the city with some unknown power. But it's worth noting that when he fought the Crime Secor, he did not use their own magic against them until they attacked him. Meaning that he had to be attacked and then use it. He did the same when he was stabbed. So it made sense that it was an instant copying magic, and therefore he nullifies it at the same time. So, and the reason why he dodged Kana's attacks is simply because that's holder magic. He cannot copy anything that's not holder. So, with that, Gildarts gathers power in his artificial arm, given the fact that since it's an artificial, it's not his flesh, and therefore he can create a new crushing one. And with a devastating power, seemingly defeats August, which a lot of people have a huge problem with. What is with you people? I mean, what is with you people? Why do you have a problem with that? Oh yeah, no, let me guess why you have a problem with that. First, you don't like the good guys to win. Second of all, you don't like how Fairytale fights their opponents. Third of all, yeah, August was hyped up as being an ultimate badass, and this is how he ends. And fourth of all, it felt a little forced. Okay, first, a guy is not supposed to be hyped up, okay? He's supposed, the more he's hyped up, the more expectations from people, and once he's defeated, because villains are supposed to be defeated. Learn that already. So, and also it made perfect sense that he couldn't copy Gildart's artificial arm. It was an artificial one, after all. And also, he may have been able to copy magic, but he did not say he knew that. He was a Springen from crying out loud. A Springen was arrogant. Have you all forgotten when Aegiel covered the entire world, the entire kingdom in sand? He didn't have to do that, you know. He could just have grabbed Ersa and done that, but the way he did that, he limited his own vision. You see, arrogance blinds a person. God damn it, what is with these people? So how does all this tie in with the fact that the child and stuff like that? Well, it turns out that indeed it was not Lacrade that was the son. It was August. Because as Zeref saw that child, he was reminded of Mavis. So he decided to name him the child at the same the month he met Mavis. And so that's the story. August was the child of Mavis and Zeref, and that made perfect sense. That was actually foreshadowed. You recall I made a video in a review once saying, why does it say why his Majesty's sons couldn't love? I thought that was a mistranslation. It wasn't. It was a mistranslated foreshadowing. It is also worth noting that he was the only one who had unquestionable loyalty to Zeref. The only one, therefore, who could do that. And that is why August was so obsessed by why couldn't His Majesty love. Of course, that doesn't explain why he said that His Majesty had a son, but ever since his beginning he wasn't loved. Although he could very well just have been talking about himself. August was in the end not a wise, extremely powerful man. He was an old man with a wounded heart who did not know love because he couldn't understand love, nor the fact that he didn't understand why he exactly wanted with love. And that's because the reason the king's child was unloved simply because he did not recognize his existence. That is the chapter and finally was translated. As I said before, a lot of people are gonna hate on this chapter, but I'll give them the middle finger and say, well, just deal with it. It's not supposed to be liked anyway. So for me, of course, the fight could have been better, but hey, I'm not complaining about that. August being the child is just a little bit twist. So all in all, it's an okay chapter. Give me your thoughts, if besides the obvious, if you have any.